So here we have quite a few types of widgets, right? And at some point, we need to be able to save this to the server, right? Right now, any updates we might make here on the client have not been stored persisted to a database, right? So we would, if I refresh the page, for instance, I would lose all my work, right? So I need to either have a dedicated save button that grabs all this and just sends it over, or I could have an on change or a timer, right? That every second perhaps just sends over any changes to the server so that it's always saved, right? Otherwise, we would risk losing our content here on the client. So let's keep it simple. Let's have a dedicated save button that would send everything over. All right. So first, notice that the component that keeps track of all the widgets is the widget list component, right? It has the widgets that then it dishes out to the different widget components, right? So this would be a good place to put the save button, right? So that because I have the widget right here, what I would need to do is post to a server and send over this entire list of widgets, and have the server deal with it. Right? Here's an entire array of widgets. Right? Just save it. Right? So let's do that. So what we could do here is right above this over here, maybe right next to this widget list. Where's our widget list? Right? We could put a button right here. We could say button save. Right? And maybe give it a class that says btn primary. There it is, save. And we're going to push it onto the right-hand side. And so this will be, we'll do a pull, not pull right. Is it float right? Is it? Float right. I was going to float it to the right-hand side so that we can then click it over here. So what we'll do is that if we click it, on click, we're going to notify we're going to handle it and say, well, I want to save it, and we're going to say save widgets. Okay. Do we save it? No, we don't save it. It's not our responsibility to do anything, right? Instead, we're going to notify somebody whose responsibility is to save it. Save widgets. Okay. And who's going to handle that? We need to map it, right? The container is going to map it. You're going to say, well, I'm going to map that property, and there are no arguments. We don't need any arguments, right? Because the reducer already knows the widgets. It already has the widgets. I don't have to pass it anything. It already has the state, right? So it's going to dispatch and say type will be to save widgets. Okay, save the widgets. Save the whales. So all right. So excellent. So we have that. This is going to be dispatched to the reducer. So here's our reducer, and the reducer is going to handle it here. It's going to say, okay, well, if you want to save the widgets, what we're going to do is that we're going to use, we're going to fetch, right? We're going to post to the server all our widgets. We're going to send them over, right? The latest version of our widgets, and let the server then save it to the database. Okay, it's not going to be our responsibility. Now, what about the state, though? Now, the state will not change for us, right? Saving the widgets does not change the state, right? So we're just going to return the state, the current state. So we're going to send it to the server, and then just return the state. Nothing has changed for us. Okay. Meanwhile, we're going to do a fetch, and we're going to do perhaps to an HTTP / localhost 8080, and we're going to post to maybe an API widgets, or just widget. I don't like plurals. So we're going to post, right? So that means that this needs to be configured to be a post. So the type will be post. we'll probably need to set the headers to be that the content type is application JSON, and we'll need to actually pass in the body. In the body, we'll need to stringify the state dot widgets. I'm going to pass along all the widgets that are in the current state. Make sense? All right. Let's try it out. Let's go back here and let's clear this. Let's look at the network, right? And let's clear that, and let's click on save. All right. So the post came here and says to execute fetch what? Request method cannot have a body. Fetch the URL, the type, the body. What is it complaining about? Method? Oh, this method? I'm sorry. Is it? I don't remember. So do a save. Okay, that's better. Thank you. Yeah, there it is. So there's widget. We can see what we sent. We can look at the headers. It says that there's no one on the server listening to this. Right? I sent it over. Nothing is mapped to this URL. So we need to go to the server and actually receive some of this. All right? Okay, so let's go move over to the server side, and we'll need a whole data model, servers, repository. We'll need all of that. So at least let's have the in the model. Let's create a widget here. So let's do a class. This will be a widget, and the widget, let's keep it simple. This will be, obviously, it'll be an entity. Right, this will be an entity, and let's import that. This will probably need an ID. So this will be ID. This will be a generated value. And this will be a private int ID. And we'll import these. Okay, and here we'll have a strategy, and it'll be identity. Oops. There we go. And for now, let's just keep the title. Right? Let's keep it simple. So this will be private string title. Right? And we'll need also the setters and getters. So let's select all and say OK. There we go. We have the title. All right. Obviously, you'll have all the other fields in here. OK. Let's see. Let's now that we have a data model, let's create a service out of this. We'll call it the service, the widget service. So this will be widget service, and this will be a REST controller. So a REST controller that is going to be waiting for a post, right? So we have a post mapping that is listening to /API/widget, meaning that when we get a query, a request on that, we're going to execute the following public function that is going to save widgets, and then it's going to receive from the body, from the request body, presumably a list of widgets. So widgets. All right? Something like that. Okay, everybody okay? Yes? And just to check to see that indeed it was able to parse it out from the request body, let's echo back the widgets. See what it received. Hopefully, it'll look like what we sent. Right? So this is going to return the widgets. So it's going to parse it out from the request body, and then it's going to encode it again in the response body. So it's going to parse it out from the request body, but it's going to send it back in the response body. Right? Obviously, only the title, only the ID and the title. We don't have the other attributes. Okay. All right, excellent. So let's restart the server here. Let's restart the server. Okay. One thing that we might have forgotten is that we need cross-origin, right? We need cross-origin. So let's stop this. Let's stop this. Go back to the service, widget service, and let's annotate this to have cross-origin. And then what is it? Just star? Is there a particular field that we need to configure here? I forget. Is it just star? Is that enough? Okay. I'm sorry? Max. Oh, okay. Or is it origin equal? Origins. Okay. All right. So let's restart. And let's post now. Hopefully now it will echo back. Let's go back to our here where we can save. Let's clear this, and I'll send the save again. All right, this time it didn't complain. Right, we're getting a 200. Here's the pre-flight saying that post is okay. Right, you can send it over. The server is receiving it. Here's what we sent there. We sent 6 objects, right, with widget type and source and everything. And the response is 6 objects that came back, but only the title, with the IDs and the title. Right? So we are able to send it over to the server. It's now the responsibility of the server to save that entire list, right, to the database, right, to have a table called widget, whatnot, right, and do the inserts or the updates for those particular 6 entities. Okay, and we'll do that next.